is his health? Where is he in terms of percentage? How much of an impact can he make later today?
Our Saturday wraps up game number 4 with a rematch of a regular season battle, Virginia and Loyola. That at 7:15. But let's get it kicked off. Noon right now, Yale, UMass, and Ryan, everybody talking about Ben Reeves in this matchup.
Yeah, the Tewaaraton finalist, the 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year, the all-time leading scorer in program history. What hasn't been said about this? The only thing missing on his resume, an NCAA tournament win. Can he get the job done today?
That is the man tasked with guarding Ben Reeves today, Isaac Paparo, the Colonial Player of the Year, a defender for the Minutemen.
Yeah, an absolute classic matchup here in terms of defense versus offense. Paparo not only important in their defensive strategy, but also getting out in transition and being a threat.
These two teams very familiar with one another. They saw each other late in February. Yale won that game 13-10, but UMass, they outshot the Bulldogs, they won more face-offs, and they got more ground balls in the game.
And despite all those statistics advantage, Yale was up 13-4. UMass won 11 straight contests. Heading into this one, they are riding high.
You said it, they carry the longest active win streak at 11 games into the NCAA tournament. Noah Rack in red for the Minutemen and Connor Mackey in white for Yale, as all the attention goes to the Face-Off X opening weekend about to begin. The road to championship weekend and Gillette Stadium begins now in New Haven. A lot of people think Yale, the Bulldogs, can get there. Their first test against a red-hot UMass team. And we are underway in New Haven. The 2018 NCAA tournament is here. And Yale wins possession, and we get our first look at this high-powered Bulldog offense and a UMass defense that'll have to stand on its head today.
A great early sign for Yale. Connor Mackey winning that face-off. Rack got the best of him in their first matchup. Not many can claim that feat.
Only 25 seconds into the opening round, and we already need a new ball here in the NCAA tournament.
Something looked fishy about that ball. I was about to point that out. So the referees are all over it. They're on their tournament game as well.
In net for UMass junior Sean Scanoni. He's been called into action early. He's expected to face a lot in the cage today, and he is playing better than any goalie in the country the last 6 games. Save percentage of 73%. Usually a good one's around 50. And they're going to need him today against this Yale offense. Jack Ty passes off. Yale settling in for their first possession of the afternoon. Matt Gaudette splits 2 defenders, can't get the shot off. He was suffocated by the Minutemen D. And Ryan, this is where UMass can be dangerous in transition. Both coaches talking about that is the biggest difference from that game in February. UMass has really got their transition game clicking on all cylinders. An opening shot from the Minutemen bounces over, and they'll get the restart.
Yeah, look out for them in the first 15 seconds of every possession. They have a coordinated set of movements with their attack, but they love to let their midfielders push, especially if they have an offensive midfielder trapped on defense.
This is a UMass team that played zone defense, did not run in transition back in February when Yale won 13-10. They lost that game, then they lost to Albany. They were 1-4, and they've gone on an 11-game win streak, and we've got our opener. UMass using some firepower, and they're on the board 1-0. And guess who it is? Isaac Paparo, the defenseman, Colonial Player of the Year with his 4th goal of the season.
We highlighted him in the opener, and he steps up, absolutely drilling the corner. You've got to watch UMass in transition, and then the sub game. Paparo played a little cat and mouse near the midfield line. was able to gain a quick advantage, a quick little 5-on-4, and he buries it from the outside.
A defender who can do it all. He is not shy. And talk about a junior captain setting the tone on the road in an NCAA tournament game. Connor Mackey wins the faceoff. But they call a violation against the Yale Fogo, so UMass a make it, take it, right back on possession, up a goal early. And Ryan, there's something to be said about the confidence of a team that wins 11 straight games headed into the tournament.
Yeah, you absolutely buy into everything your coaches are saying. The results speak for themselves.
Sophomore midfielder Jeff Traynor has his step, decides to fire, took a deflection. Jack Starr, the freshman goalkeeper for Yale. He had a career-high 15 saves against the Minutemen. That is still his career high from that game in late February. Right now, it's UMass who has found the front foot in this first-round NCAA tournament game here in New Haven. Jake Lisauskis, senior midfielder. Trying to weave his way through this Yale defense. Back out, another rip. That one doesn't find the back of the net.
Great look there by Connolly, the freshman. Number 10 getting it from behind the cage right back in front to Buddy Carr, who lets that fly just wide.
Buddy Carr leads UMass in scoring with 36 goals on the season. Likes to play at the top of the box, though, on attack. And he has a dangerous outside shot. Spinning his way in, Lisauskis gives it off, feed in front, and UMass has a 2-0 lead early. The Minutemen, led by their senior Buddy Carr. And this is exactly the start a road team needs here in New Haven against Yale.
If you don't succeed at first, try again. They go right back to the well. Connolly flashes to Carr. Carr pulls the stick across his face before snapping down, a technique called a twister to increase your angle. But here you see Carr's versatility. The play before, he pops to open space for the time and room shot. This time he knifes and cuts down the defense, finds that open space, flashes his stick so Connolly can put it right on target.
And UMass head coach Greg Cannella has known Buddy Carr for a long time, since birth, because good friend and former teammate played with him in the 80s, his father, Kelly Carr, and they played on the same attack line for UMass under Dick Garber, the Garber Gorillas in the 80s, and now Buddy playing under that same UMass tradition that his father and Greg Cannella did, now getting coached by Cannella. Yale a much-needed face-off win early here in a 2-0 hole, back on offense. Ryan, what are the keys for the Bulldogs today, especially considering they've got themselves in a 2-0 hole?
Yeah, you've got to create quality shots. If Scanoni's able to cleanly save it, that keys their transition. Speaking of which, you've got to cut that off. You've already seen how lethal they are. Get back in the hole and make them beat you 6-on-6.
Curling around the cage and cut off. Jack Ty, the junior, trying to get a spark to this Yale offense. Came up empty on their first possession. This is number 2. And they're on the board. Lucas Kotler unleashed a strong lefty finish. The Bulldogs are on the board.
Give a ton of credit to Kotler in terms of getting to his strength here. You see just the poor approach angle allows Kotler to top step and get to the middle of the field. Good thing happens when you get to the middle. You have so much of the cage to shoot at. Strong left-handed tendencies for Kotler, and you can see the beautiful placement right above the right shoulder of Scanoni there.
Goal number 13 of the season for the second-line midfielder. Not the start that this Yale team wanted, especially after they had their 6-game winning streak snapped in the Ivy League finals a week ago against Cornell. There was a question, hey, was that just a one game or could this carry into an NCAA tournament? where the Bulldogs have struggled. 3 first-round exits each of the last 3 seasons. But now an opportunity to tie this game at 2 after winning the faceoff.
This Yale team is just so resilient mentally. Didn't really see a long-term impact of that loss. The flip side is Coach Shea has admitted that he hasn't really talked about their NCAA past. Not really sure if that's the right approach, but that's the one he's elected to take.
Well, you saw this team a week ago at the Ivy League tournament. Was there anything you saw in that final that you were concerned with? Nothing to be concerned on that play. All the way to the cage, splitting defenders, the sophomore Jackson Morrill. And we're tied at 2.
I'll get to your question in just a minute. We'll go through this replay and then we'll come back to that. Morrill, who struggled in that Cornell game, strong underneath dodge, works his way back up the field. The key there is coming back to his left hand right there and works upfield to increase his angle. When you do that, you really challenge Scanoni in terms of you got near pipe, you got far pipe, so many more options. Great to see him, if you're a Yale fan, get back on track after a rough championship game against Cornell.
2 face-off wins for Connor Mackey, 2 goals for the Yale Bulldogs to tie this at 2. If you like offense, this is the game for you. We thought it might be a defensive battle today, but both teams have come out, high-flying offenses. It's another face-off win for the senior Connor Mackey. And Yale goes right back on the attack. Here's Ben Reeves, 3-time Tewaaraton finalist, 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year. Now in his senior year, trying to win an NCAA tournament game for the first time.
So there was 2 things in that Cornell championship that might worry you if you're a Yale fan. Number 1, you didn't get a lot of production out of anybody outside of Reeves. And then second is Starr really didn't make any sort of saves.
Reeves felt traffic, didn't get a clean look out. And Yale's ride gives it right back to Ben Reeves. Goes low and scores! Ben Reeves fires the Bulldogs in front. Instant offense off the ride.
And they didn't even need to jump in the 10-man to create this turnover. This is just all effort by your senior leader. You can see the turnover in transition. Reeves runs down the ball, picks it up, and just takes matters into his own hands. No check is going to stop Ben Reeves. He's just too big, too fast, too strong, and shoots the ball too hard. And what an answer by Yale. 3 straight to regain a 1-goal lead.
Andy Shea, Yale head coach, with his Bulldogs on a 3-0 scoring run. This is NCAA tournament appearance number 6. Their previous 1-5 headed into today. You'd love to get Reeves a victory with plays like that, and the way another senior, Connor Mackey, is performing at the face-off X. Maybe Andy Shea doesn't need to talk about it with his team, but these seniors know what's at stake.
Absolutely. I mean, what a start to the tournament, huh? The first 5 minutes, we got a lot of action.
We are off and running for sure. Game 1 of 8 in a loaded opening round weekend slate here on ESPNU. Bulldogs on a 3-0 scoring run. And with the ball right back, how can UMass stop the bleeding right now and get back to what was working for them early? That certainly helps. Deflection out of bounds. It was Paparo once again. He's been everywhere defensively for the Minutemen.
Over the few first possessions, UMass has kind of bounced back and forth between a zone and man-to-man schemes. So I'll try to stay on top of that to point those out. Looks like they're back into man now. They're trying to mix things up to confuse this half-field 6-on-6 offense for Yale.
They played 58 minutes of zone in the regular season matchup. Greg Cannella, Minuteman head coach, said, I don't think you're going to see a lot of zone because they tore it apart in February. Quick pass passing around the perimeter, trying to get the opening window, looking for Reeves. That is well over the senior stick, and UMass a much-needed turnover.
They're not out yet. This is what Yale strategically has developed, is this 10-man ride. Kudos to UMass to getting it up and out quickly before they can really even set up.
That was one of your keys. Have to control the Yale ride. Ben Reeves has already capitalized on a UMass mistake in the clearing game. What are your keys for UMass?
Yeah, Scanoni was huge in that CAA tournament. If he's able to save the ball cleanly, he's able to spark transition for them. And then we just saw it there. They've got to stay composed in the clearing game. Be patient, catch the ball, identify where you are in the field, and make the correct play.
UMass started this game on a 2-0 scoring run. Yale has fired back with 3 goals. The fireworks here in New Haven to kick off the opening round in the NCAA 2018 Men's Lacrosse Tournament. Ben Spencer caught up top, spinning around. He's got plenty of room in front of him, but pulls back. It's been a few minutes since UMass has set up their offense. Rear back and fire, why not? Ben Spencer unleashes one, and we are tied at 3. Scorer over John Reese. The one thing that Reese did, he got to championship weekend. Now that's Ben Reeves' task.
The other thing he has is that awesome double back rack chin guard right there. That was the look back in the day.
Got to bring those back.
The back rack, the back rack double, the double pad. There's only one guy.
Oh! Yard sale. And Yale is bringing it from the face-off X. They've got 5 wins. UMass only has 1. Looking for instant offense.
Oh.
Both teams are letting it fly early in this game.
You gotta love the pace and the physicality as Reeves gets jumped right on the end line there. Heady play by Valenza.
Minutemen are going to look to run. Transition is where they've made their money on this 11-game winning streak. Tied at 3 with 6 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
The only guy that didn't have to do the double back rack pad, the only guy is Connor Gill. He just wore 1, and he was good enough. It was fine. But that was the exception. Only him.
Had to earn it. Here's Jake Lasoskis, senior midfielder. Has it on his left. UMass has not been shy. They have let it fly from all over the field, testing Yale's freshman goalkeeper, Jack Starr. Double team comes, somehow spinning through it. Big hit came, never got the shot off, and now it's Yale in transition. John Dana jealous, getting checked from behind, ball loose again. These teams going back and forth, tons of physicality. We finally have a flag. This is exactly what you want to kick off opening round action.
It's May, it's tournament time. You've got to love the physicality.
One minute penalty on John Dana Jealous, the junior midfielder who lost the handle, trying to get it back and committed the illegal hit on the head there.
Yeah, I thought they'd just have a push from behind in a 30-second. The sensitivity to the hits to the head, understandably so. And UMass goes up for 1.
Our first extra man opportunity for either team comes with 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Look out for Buddy Carr, number 35 in red. He's got 8 extra man goals on the season. Here's Carr with it, passing out this time. Going low, Starr got a piece of it. It'll stay with the Minutemen.
Spencer feeling it after that first shot. Not afraid to let it fly from the outside.
Another rip, that one bounces and sent wide. How about the hustle play? Jack Starr flying towards the ball, wins possession for Yale.
Yale notorious for diving to the end line, a non-negotiable in their defense from Coach Shea. And now the one-man punt return. by Alessi.
Love the punt return because Alessi is the punt returner for the Yale football team. They won an Ivy League championship this fall. He took care of business there on this clear. Under 15 seconds left on this penalty. It'll run out comfortably. So Yale, a nice job on the penalty kill, and now back on the attack.
You've got to feel buoyed if you're a Yale fan. Star, a couple saves on that last man up, as well as the dive to the end line to gain possession. Goalie play has really haunted them in the tournament in years past.
3 first-round exits each of the last 3 seasons, trying to change that against UMass today. Here's Jack Ty. Passes off. This is what Yale's been doing. Around the perimeter, looking for the right window offensively. A rip that was way over the cage of Sean Scanoni. That was Dana Jealous, who sat out on the 1-minute penalty, back onto the field.
And one thing of note, you're going to see UMass slide adjacent, so around the perimeter, because they really want to avoid number 44, Gaudette, in the middle. They really want to make somebody else beat them around the perimeter instead of him inside.
Joe Sessa at 5'5", lowering his shoulder. He plays a lot taller than he is. Yale trying to make something happen on this possession. And they do. Jackson Morrill again snatches his second goal of the game and has fired Yale in front 4-3.
Morrill, the second goal of the game. You'll see him drive up to his left, roll back, and then again get to his left hand, so it's to the inside to create a better scoring, shooting angle. Paparo's got to time up that trail check a little bit better, and UMass, as soon as Morrill rolls back, slide. Great opportunity for a double team there to try to cause a turnover and get out and run.
If you don't have it already, you have to check out ESPN Plus, your home for more sports, more schools, more conferences, more ESPN. You can stream it now for just $4.99 a month. If you're a sports fan, you need to get ESPN Plus. So Morrill, his second goal gives Yale the lead, and lacrosse just runs in his blood. 3 generations of lacrosse Hall of Famers. His father, Mike, won 2 national titles playing for Johns Hopkins. His grandfather, Bill, in the Lacrosse Hall of Fame, and his great-grandfather, Kelso. Talk about a lot of pressure.
I was going to say, yeah.
But he's playing very well so far. He has half of Yale's goals, and the Bulldogs in front by 1 with 2:45 to play in this first quarter. They have dominated the face-off X, Ryan. Bulldogs 6-1 in that category.
I'm sure Mackey took it personally, with Rack getting the better of him the first game.
Looking for more offense here with Brian Tevlin. Lucas Kotler, who's got a goal to his name. This is the second line midfield in for the Bulldogs. They're going to keep feeding the hot hand, Morrill. Ben Reeves, for his standards, been a little quiet today, passes off. Behind the cage at X. Morrill almost drew the double team. And here's Reeves, one-on-one. Pulls it out. Usually he goes into attack mode there. Luke Valenza doing his job to keep Reeves contained so far. Kotler again. We saw him score with that left move earlier today.
On that Reeves drive, Philpott did an excellent job of showing the double team, getting the ball out of Reeves' stick, and then recovering back to his own man, Alessi. Good hedge and recovery there.
Loose ball, UMass. This is where they love it. In transition with numbers. Here's Billy Philpott. The feed. What a save by Jack Starr. The freshman with a huge save to deny UMass in transition. And now the Bulldogs are off and running. Looking for Morrill. And that's a turnover. Going a little too fast.
Let's take one more look at that by Starr. Denying Connolly on the crease. Connolly quick catch and shot, and Starr holds pipe, Stands tall, is all over it.
.45 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. UMass would love to tie it at 4 here. Here's the freshman Chris Connolly you were just talking about, Colonial Rookie of the Year, a great first year for the Minutemen. Got to start to hurry a little bit as we tick under 20 seconds to play in this first quarter. Risky pass, took an awkward bounce.
Plenty of time here.
8 seconds for Yale. They get it to Ben Reeves. 3-time Tewaaraton finalist. Spinning around the double team, passes off, a shot and a save. Sean Scanoni, a massive stop to end this first quarter and deny Yale of a 2-goal lead. I don't know about you, but I'm having a lot of fun to open up this first round of the NCAA tournament. A hot start for UMass, a 2-goal lead. Yale rallied back with 3, and it's a Bulldog 4-3 lead at the end of the first 15 minutes. First round action off to a great start here in the NCAA tournament. Yale a 4-3 lead through 15 minutes. Second quarter action about to begin. Our 2 head coaches today, Greg Cannella, a legend in year number 24 of UMass. And, well, Yale head coach Andy Shea knows all about the Minuteman tradition. He spent 4 years on Cannella's staff at UMass before taking the Yale job in 2003. And he told us he built the Blue Dogs into this Ivy power using Cannella's blueprint that he learned in his days as assistant coach at UMass.
What an awesome shot that is, and you know, obviously built the program in UMass's image, and you know, they're super close even to this day. You know, self-admittedly best friends off the field. I mean, Jay, I have a hard time playing my best friend in ping pong,
right,
let alone my job. You know,
and he
relying
told us
on this win, right?
He does not relish this game. A lot of people say, oh, it's cool, you get to play UMass. He did not want to be in this situation. He said even if they win, a small part of him will be sad because Greg Cannella loses. Speaks to the friendship those guys have. And how about Greg Cannella? Back in 2006, when the Minutemen reached the NCAA tournament final, he got Andy Shea a ring from championship weekend, even though he had not been on the staff for 2 years, because he helped build that culture that got them to that final.
It just speaks so much about the type of person that Coach Cannella is and the type of program that is here at UMass.
Yale has dominated the face-off act 7-2. Timeout taken by Andy Shea. So 7-2 in the face-off X, and yet only a 1-goal lead for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, certainly got to feel good about that. If you're a Minuteman, this game's this tight, and we're getting kind of, you know, absolutely owned in that department.
We'll step aside. A lot of lacrosse still on the board. Just 35 seconds into this second quarter. Yale with the ball and a 1-goal lead. The 5th Formula One race of the season, the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona, one of the longest running races in history, with the first being all the way back in 1913. Sunday morning wake up, 9:05 Eastern on ESPN2, and it is commercial free. Just a few seconds into the second quarter, Ryan Boyle, Jay Alter with you, opening our 8-game slate on ESPNU of this men's lacrosse tournament first round. Yale coming out of the timeout with a 1-goal lead. Ryan, what has stood out so far between these two teams to you?
I think the faceoffs. Mackey playing much better than he did the first time. Rack really had the better of him. So significant advantage there for Yale in the first quarter.
Yeah, Rack got Mackey in that February meeting 16-9 from the faceoff X. Now it's 7-2. Great shot from Matt Gaudette. Some high heat that rose and didn't get into the stick of Sean Scanoni. Scanoni, he's had a lot thrown at him. He's made a couple of saves, but it's worth repeating. He is the hottest goaltender in the country right now. Save percentage at 73% in the last 6 games. You know how important goalie play is in this tournament. Almost tested here. Jack Ty decides not to fire.
Great rotation there by UMass. Again, adjacent slides. They do not want to leave number 44 in the middle.
Here's Ben Reeves. 1 goal today. Curling around the cage. Saved by Scanoni. Read it beautifully to deny the senior Tewaaraton finalist.
Scanoni, big guy, takes up a lot of the cage, but underrated hands. Very quick, very explosive.
Reeves says, I'll try this again. This time passes off. Back to Jack Ty. Junior's got 30 goals to his name this season. Joe Sessa cut off. Right back to Reeves. Classic case of thought about the shot before he had the catch. John Dana jealous, a turnover.
But I think so far UMass defensively is doing a pretty good job on Reeves. You saw Marino help there. Philpott earlier. They want to get the ball out of his stick, make him into a feeder.
UMass sloppy on their side of the ball, and Jack Starr can break quickly if he wants to, the freshman goalkeeper for Yale. Watch out from behind. Ball's loose. We're tied at 4. Chris Connolly. A scoop and score. Jack Starr, the Yale goalkeeper, just did not see him coming like a quarterback in the pocket. Hit from the blind side. Connolly capitalizes.
The mistake Starr makes is going in front of the cage instead of behind the cage. Behind the cage is your friend. It's where the safety zone is. You go in front of the cage, like you said, you have no idea who's coming behind you.
What a hit by Chris Connolly. Devin Spencer bounces it home.
This is the freshman showing some early jitters, showing some inexperience. Get the ball out of your stick or go behind. Do not go in front of the cage.
Some people may say, whoa, tough hit on the goalkeeper. That can't happen, but it was clean from behind, got the stick. And so Chris Connolly turns defense into offense. Devin Spencer, the sophomore, bounces it home. Both Spencer brothers have a goal today. Ben Spencer early in the game for UMass, and now his younger brother, Devin. Yale looking off the face-off for a goal. Denied by Scanoni again. That instant response. Here comes the 10-man ride. Great reverse field pass there. Plenty of space on that far side.
What a clear there by Trainer. Triple teamed. Calmly rolls away from pressure, keeps his head about himself, and throws the cross-field pass. That's exactly what we talked about in the open in terms of UMass. Yale's gonna pressure you. The entire bench was screaming at Trainer.
He had 3 guys on the field, but 15 behind him.
Yes.
And somehow makes the great play to get it to Isaac Paparo and set up this UMass attack. Tied at 4 after the Devin Spencer goal. Looking for more. Hit a trailer. Trainer eyeing up his options, finally passes. Great save by Jack Starr. Freshman read it well. UMass stays on possession.
You'll call that a save, I'll call that a pipe. I'm sure he's thanking the goalie gods for the help on that one.
Sometimes the iron is kind. UMass back on possession. Really pouring it on in this second quarter. Had a lot more possession than they did in the first. Jake Lasoskis. His first line midfield is in with Jeff Trainer and Kevin Tobin. Here's the freshman Tobin, a Massachusetts kid. Former hockey player that Greg Cannella is really excited about. He's got 9 goals and 9 assists in his first year with the Minutemen. Buddy Carr muscling his way in. That one definitely off the pipe. And Yale, the hustle play by the freshman Chris Fake to win possession.
Tremendous effort there by Fake.
Let's take a look at the last Yale possession on the face-off.
Yeah, just something to keep your eye on. Huge check there. Mackey feeling it, the effects afterwards. As you watch him run off the field, and they don't have like a lot of depth there.
No.
So there is no plan B.
And Mackey's been excellent. He's got 7 out of the 9 face-off wins for the Bulldogs. We'll continue to monitor that situation. It's an important one in the face-off X. Trying to squeak one by Scanoni that time. Jackson Morrill looking for a hat trick. Didn't get the right window. Ben Reeves on the backup. 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year. So dangerous when the ball is in his stick. Muscling his way through and firing Yale in front. Jack Ty, the junior. 5-4 Bulldogs lead.
Muscling through is exactly correct. Showing the overall strength. You'll see him beat Scanoni over his opposite shoulder. Just beautiful placement. What's critical for Yale today is other people are stepping up. When they lost to Cornell, it was the Ben Reeves show and nobody else really did much. Today, Morrill's got 2. Ty's on the board. Kotler's on the board. So you can see the depth offensively that this team has, which is why so many people are predicting a deeper run than in years past.
Comes to Yale from a powerhouse in Long Island at Chaminade, where he was the lacrosse captain, the football captain. Andy Shea saying he just has a competitive edge. And Connor Mackey is in the face-off X for the Yale Bulldogs, so the wrist injury clearly not too serious on the senior. He has dominated Noah Rack today, 7-2 advantage at the face-off X for the Bulldogs. And once again, Mackey gets the face-off, lowers his shoulder, fires his shot. It'll stay with the Bulldogs. That wrist is totally fine. What were we talking about?
If he was feeling the effects, where was it on that play? I would have just thrown it and, ran off the field as quickly as possible.
You touched on the balance of this Yale offense. They've got 4 different scorers today. It is not the Ben Reeves show. Oh. Putting the body on the line to lead a UMass break. To Buddy Carr, hits the trailer. Connor Mackey, we show you getting worked on the sideline as UMass went for the transition there. This is an official timeout. Jake Lusoskas was down after he took a body blow.
Yeah, you hate to see that and give the officials some credit. They let the play develop to see if UMass had any sort of advantage, and once they realized that wasn't the case, they blew it dead. But you just hate to see anybody take a shot.
Truly putting the body on the line. UMass has the ball. Both athletic training staffs getting a workout. For Yale, it's Connor Mackey. For UMass, it's Jake Lusoskas. Minutemen trailing by a goal. They have hung tough with the number 3 seeded Yale Bulldogs here in New Haven. Had an opportunity on the left, decided not to shoot. Here's Chris Connolly. Charlie O'Brien dumps it inside, not a clean window. Ball is loose. Chris Fake all over that one, and that's why he's the Ivy League Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely. Fake demonstrating his skill set. Really wasn't even his slide. He just kind of sniffed out that play.
Yale having some struggle on the clear. UMass has got the ball. A hold is the call. It'll stay with the Bulldogs.
Kind of a bang-bang play there. I didn't really see it. There was some confusion, even like who had the ball there.
It stays with Yale. Under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, about midway through it. Bulldogs clinging to a 1-goal lead. Lucas Kotler, he's got a goal today, almost two. Great save by Sean Scanoni to deny the sophomore. Yale gets it right back. Joseph Sessa went low, sent it wide. Take another look at the save. Scanoni showing why he is the hottest goalkeeper in the NCAA tournament right now.
As soon as Kotler caught the ball, some enthusiastic UMass fan, I don't think it was the coach, was yelling, "Lefty!" It's one thing to know he's a lefty, it's another thing to stop it. Credit to him in terms of getting to the middle of the field again, and to Scanoni being up to the task. Strong first half for the goalkeeper.
He's got 5 saves. Yale's offense is punishing. They just keep coming at you possession after possession. They've got 5 goals, but Scanoni's got 5 saves.
And look, UMass knew that Yale was going to get off a ton of shots, right? They're strong enough offensively, and the way UMass was going to slide, there was just no denying Yale's shots. So they knew Scanoni was going to have a big game. Credit to him in terms of this first half, making the saves that he needs to make to keep them in this contest.
And Scanoni started the year in goal. He was pulled after the Albany game. He was put back in the second quarter of the Delaware game, which was 6 games ago. Since then, he has not looked back. 82 saves headed into the day, a 73% save percentage. And it was crucial. UMass was 1-4 after the Albany loss. They felt they needed a change. And that change sparked an 11-game win streak, which they carry into today in New Haven.
Yeah, and just to really drill this point home, Scanoni ended up getting the CAA tournament most outstanding player, so stepping up big when they needed him most in order to punch their ticket into the tournament.
So Scanoni, really, the last 6 games, 73 save percentage. It's been a catalyst for that 11-game win streak, longest in the country. This is game 1, an 8-game slate between today and tomorrow, all on ESPNU in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Winner of this game gets Loyola, Virginia. That game today at 7 o'clock. Need to be there for that one. And then the bottom of the bracket, so much to talk about. A lot of people have their eyes on Notre Dame, Denver, and of course Albany, the 2 seed.
Yeah, 2 of the games that I think everybody has circled are the Loyola, Virginia and the Notre Dame, Denver in terms of this weekend. And not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but you know, Albany, if they advance past Richmond, having to see Notre Dame or Denver in the quarters.
That'll be a great game.
Tough road.
At Hofstra, that matchup. As Scanoni takes his place in between the posts. As we are back underway, midway through the second quarter, Yale's got a 1-goal lead to kick off opening round action in the NCAA tournament. Ben Reeves, for his standards, been quiet. Low pass there, and now UMass can run. Minutemen with numbers. They love transition all the way. Paparo looking for his second. Do you think that was a little too fast? Not the look that UMass wanted there?
No, that's who they are, so I'm not surprised at all. As another turnover in transition.
It's Connolly again. Feeds it to Devin Spencer. Can't fire it home that time. And they say Chris Fake got there before Chris Connolly. The freshman defender beat the freshman attackman. Both were rookie of the years of their respective conferences. The UMass fans here hate the call.
And I think it's a legitimate gripe. I don't think the officials saw Connolly behind him. The UMass bench absolutely erupted in displeasure. But to your point earlier, those last 2 shots, those last 2 opportunities, you know, that's bread and butter UMass. That's who they are.
Paparo scored on one earlier, didn't get that one. Really not a clean look from the defender who was trailing. Yale back on the attack. And it's Ben Reeves, only 1 goal today for the 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year, 3-time Tewaaraton finalist.
And they have turned him into a feeder today. Every time he comes to the left side, there is a slide coming to get the ball out of his stick.
Lucas Kotler weaves his way in, passes off to Ben Reeves. He's got Scanoni hung up behind the cage at X. Really dangerous spot against one of the best attackmen in the entire nation. How about the patience from Ben Reeves? Curls around, goes low. Didn't get a clean look.
A high-risk check by Paparo, and it lands. He goes for that trail check. If Reeves tucks his stick, he can get in front of the cage. Well timed there.
Paparo and this UMass defense, they've done an excellent job on Ben Reeves today. Low pass caught by Morrill. He's got 2 goals. Only multi-goal scorer so far for Yale today. Sophomore still with it. Curling around, goes low. And it's a hat trick. They give the goal. Jackson Morrill. 3 goals for the sophomore, an outstanding first half. And Yale leading by 2, 6-4.
All 3 of Morrill's goals have come unassisted. So he is being ultra aggressive in terms of taking advantage of matchups. On this opportunity, he's got a short stick on him, and he is going to exploit that every time. Good job by Morrill on all of these, getting above the goal line extended, creating enough of a scoring opportunity. The previous 2 were left-handed. That last one right-handed, showing his versatility.
We told you in the first quarter, but it is in his blood. 3 generations of Lacrosse Hall of Famers. He is making all 3 generations proud today. Connor Mackey wins the faceoff. He took a big hit. He is still down. They will blow the whistle dead. Wow. Another faceoff win for the X Factor from the X, Connor Mackey, immediately holding his head.
Let's take another look at this.
How much is it an actual foul? How much of it is a sell job by Mackey?
I don't want to question his toughness, but on that, I didn't see necessarily a hit directly to the head. It looked like it was more in his chest, and maybe he fell awkwardly. You know, we're so conscious of hits to the head, and rightfully so. The UMass bench was right there.
So Yale goes on the 1-man, extra man. Greg Cannella is incensed on the UMass sideline. Minuteman head coach hates the call. He got the best look at it. It was right in front of him. So Yale a 2-goal lead, under 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Noah Rack serving the penalty for UMass. Quick passing around the perimeter. This is exactly what you expect from Yale on the extra man. Ben Reeves, great pass. The finish, no! Denied by Sean Scanoni from point-blank range. Yale gets the ball back.
Yeah, they've got to push from behind on that Gaudette shot. UMass fans are absolutely livid as we take another look at it.
As good as you'll get from Sean Scanoni there on the doorstep, and denied. Matt Gaudette looking at that same exact spot. Pass not caught. UMass has the ball.
Yes, two things of note. The officials are taught in terms of turning into contact. That's a point of emphasis. It looked like that hit on Gaudette was clean. And then on that second one, you know, as the great Rasheed Wallace would say, ball don't lie.
Love it. Forgot what an NBA guy you are. We'll talk Eastern Conference Finals coming up in the second half. UMass on the clear.
Well, I would say that's less NBA and more just philosophy. The great philosopher,
Rasheed Wallace, right.
Ball don't lie.
Socrates, Rasheed Wallace, I got it. Jeff Traynor passes back to Lasauskas. First line midfield out, and a goal! Bouncing it home, Ben Spencer from outside, and UMass has cut the Yale lead in half.
UMass again gets Yale caught in a little of a substitution cat and mouse game. That's what gains a leverage here. You'll see as Spencer's able to gain top side. It's all about the Yale late substitution. Spencer not afraid to rip it from the outside. And then UMass has an edge to them, Jay. You know, some of these calls, it's like fueling a fire for them.
You can hear it in the crowd. You can hear it on the sidelines, and it fueled that Ben Spencer goal, his second of the day, 12th of the season. It is just a one-goal lead for the three-seeded Bulldogs. Noah Rack, a much-needed face-off win. Connor Mackey has owned him in the X. Only his third win today. Yale has 9. But all that matters is the score, and with a little more than 3 minutes to play in this second quarter, UMass with an opportunity to tie it at 6.
And both teams showing off their depth. 4 different goal scorers for each team. 5 goals for UMass, 6 for Yale.
Connor Mackey was not in on that faceoff, so advantage could be for UMass until the Bulldogs get their senior Mackey back, who had 9 out of the first 11 faceoff wins. Here's Ben Spencer again. He's got 2 goals, including the last one. Out to Buddy Carr. Chris Connolly, Colonial Freshman of the Year. UMass really being patient, settling the attack at the end of the second quarter. And a timeout taken by Greg Cannella.
Good timeout there by Cannella. Senses the moment right now. A lot of penalties, helter-skelter play. His team's fought back into this. Let's get organized. 2 minutes left. I've got 2. Let's take one now. Make sure everybody's on the same page.
The storyline for today for the Bulldogs was those early first-round exits. Each of the last 3 seasons bounced in the first round. 2 of those games by just 1 goal, and here the Bulldogs are again in a 1-goal game against UMass. This was last year in the Carrier Dome. On the road, certainly a different scenario than when you're hosting as the 3 seed, but a game they could have won, outshot the Cuse 42-29. There's your winner, 11-10. Do you think that creeps into the mind of a Yale player?
Well, when you have this much history in terms of these 1-goal losses, like you said, they're hosting this year. In some of these games, it would just seem like if they could come up with 1 stop, 1 save. So that's why you got to feel encouraged by Starr today. Seems like he's been able to make a few stops and be steady there. But the short answer is I don't know how it doesn't creep into your mind.
And you see the close games too. 3 out of the last 4 NCAA tournament losses by just 1 goal. And here we are, another close game. Bulldogs clinging to a 1-goal lead, 6-5 with 2:07 to play.
The flip side is this is the NCAA tournament, right. So there's going to be close games, right? So your mettle is going to be tested, especially down the stretch, and how you execute in all facets of the game.
And for UMass, this is a team that has not won an NCAA tournament game in 12 years, since 2006 when they went all the way to the final.
Strong tradition, right? Strong history of making deep NCAA runs, and if you just look at the recent history, non-seeded teams making it to championship weekend, it isn't that far-fetched. So if I'm UMass, riding an 11-game winning streak, why not us?
Longest winning streak in the entire country. They brought that confidence to New Haven. 2 minutes left in the second quarter, trying to tie this game at 6 before intermission. Kevin Tobin runs off the screen set by Buddy Carr. Here's the freshman for the Minutemen. Over the Jeff Trainer, 50-point scorer in his sophomore season.
Referees throw a shot clock on.
20 seconds left on it. Immediately out of the timeout, too.
UMass didn't think they were getting any breaks.
Right.
Certainly that trend continues.
Only 8 seconds on the shot clock. UMass has to hurry. I don't know if Chris Connolly recognizes it. 2 seconds left. Gotta fire something, and no, that's a shot clock violation. What do you make of that coming right out of the timeout, calling a shot clock warning?
I'm sure that's not what UMass had drawn up.
First of the day, too.
Yeah. Give credit to Fake at the end of that shot clock, staying on Connolly's hands, preventing him from generating any late offense. The freshman's got to know when it gets that low, just ditch the ball in the corner, allowing yourself enough time to substitute and get your personnel on.
50 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Joseph Sessa tees up this Yale attack.
I fully anticipate Yale holding for one, and you can hear the UMass faithful saying, okay, if we just got a shot clock, where's theirs?
The traveling support has been loud and proud over on the UMass side. Under 30 seconds to play. Ben Reeves with it in his stick. Always dangerous, the 3-time Tewaaraton finalist. Makes his way at the cage. Feed inside, kicked out. Jack Ty, the extra pass. Bouncer denied by Scanoni again. Sean Scanoni, the hero for UMass in this first half. 10 seconds remaining. Minutemen have it. They can go quickly if they want to. 5 seconds, have to hurry. 2 seconds. Fires a shot, easy save for Jack Starr, and that'll do it for the opening half hour.
I think Philpott got surprised in terms of how much time was left on the clock there. You could see him kind of touching his chest saying, you know, that's on me, guys.
Sean Scanoni, 7 saves in the first half for UMass. The Minutemen going punch for punch with the number 3 seed, the Yale Bulldogs here in New Haven. Opening round action, game 1 of 8, 30 minutes into the first round of the NCAA tournament, and we've got a fun one here in Connecticut. Yale 6, UMass 5 at the half. Listen, we'll see all 5 of these guys throughout the weekend, but it was more who wasn't on the list.
It always is, right? So I think to highlight some of the guys that are Gutterding coming up next, the left-hander out of Duke, the most determined player by Duke's words. And then to the nightcap, if you will, is Pat Spencer. Last year was free Pat Spencer. This year it's free Jeff Teat. So he's the guy that most people are pointing to get snubbed. But you know, let's highlight these 5 just tremendous players, kind of all in their own right. And we've got, you know, one of the best right here, Ben Reeves, in our game today.
We've seen a lot of Ben Reeves, only 1 goal to his name. And we told you, you'll see all 5 of these guys between today and tomorrow on ESPN. Through 30 minutes, UMass doing a nice job on Reeves.
Yeah, I really credit UMass defensively. They are making somebody else beat them today. You see Reeves, that's his only goal. And that was in transition, off of a ride, creating his own opportunity. Otherwise, all of these highlights are going to include a slide, whether it's a short stick, a long pull. Let's get the ball out of his stick, or let's force a weak shot. And any of these, Scanoni has been absolutely up to the task. Just a tremendous job by UMass defensively, and Scanoni to boot.
It's been 4 turnovers rather for Ben Reeves. This is uncharacteristic of the senior so far this season. What do you think it is that UMass specifically is doing that's not only shutting Reeves down, but he's forcing turnovers, which is uncharacteristic?
Yeah, so they're doing 2 things. Number 1, they're forcing him to make adjacent passes. So normally that slide comes from the crease. You're looking for Gaudet or a skip behind. By that adjacent, you got to get the ball out quickly. And then the other thing is, scouting-wise, Scanoni might have a little something. He's shown a lot of tendencies over the course of his season. Maybe he's read that scout and knows what he's doing.
Well, still 30 minutes left in this game. Reeves and Yale control a 1-goal lead, just 30 minutes through it. Tell you what, this UMass team, they have come to play in New Haven. We've got a fun second half setting up. It's a 6-5 Bulldogs lead. We'll be back. Second half action after this. Sports Center tonight after Top Rank Boxing with John Bucci-Gross and Kenny Mayne. They'll have all the post-fight reactions from Madison Square Garden. Plus, the Celtics' Big Four talk about their run to the Eastern Conference Finals, as well as facing LeBron and the Cavs. Also, you got to check this out. Barry Melrose breaking down the Golden Knights and the Jets. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, all on Sports Center, 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. And Ryan, hope we get a couple college lacrosse top plays with 4 games loaded slate today.
Jay, I have an issue with the Celtics' Big Four.
Yeah, what's up with that?
We're calling that the Big Four?
Well, who are even the 4? Because aren't 2 out of the 4 injured right now?
Well, then I was going to say, if they come back, then you can't have a Big 6.
All right, we just timed out our 20-second NBA talk allotment. Yale 6, UMass 5. Started the third quarter around the corner. Take a look at our bracket winner of this game. Gets Loyola, Virginia. All eyes on that matchup. 7:15 tonight on ESPNU.
That is going to be just an awesome way to end the evening. A raucous crowd, an up and down game. Virginia loves to run. Loyola's no stranger to transition as well.
In our first half of Yale's goals came from the sophomore Jackson Morrill.
3 unassisted goals, a couple left-handed, 1 right-handed. He is not afraid to go at his defenseman. I imagine that UMass talked about this at halftime in terms of having something prepared for him.
Yale would have a lot more goals if not for the UMass goalkeeper, Sean Scanoni.
He has been huge in cage. UMass giving up a ton of shots, 25 in the first half. They knew that he'd have to stand on his head, and he has been up to the task in the first half.
So UMass got the hot start, a 2-0 lead for the Minutemen. Yale fired back with 3 goals of their own, and since that point, Ryan, really punch for punch between these two teams. Very even first half.
Yeah, and Mackey, you've got to kind of keep an eye on him in terms of his injury. He's back out to take the first half of the first face-off of the second half, excuse me.
He missed the last first face-off of the first half. He was 10 of 12 from the face-off X when he was out there, and he is back at the face-off X waiting for Noah Rack, the senior Fogo for UMass. So he's 8 of 24 against Rack in the regular season. And today he has dominated Rack. He is 10 of 12 as we are about to be back underway in this second half.
I mean, you referenced the boxing match. We knew this was going to be a heavyweight matchup. 2 MLL draft picks. Both these guys will be playing in Major League Lacrosse this summer.
Mackey picked up right where he left off. He's now got 11 of 13 against Rack. Has stayed on the field. So Yale in white, UMass in maroon to start this second half. Bulldogs with a 1-goal lead. Considering Yale has dominated the possession, dominated the faceoffs, how has UMass stayed in this game only a goal down?
I think Scanoni's a huge part of that in terms of making some key saves. And then UMass has shot well.
Is there anything Yale's offense could be doing better in the second half?
I think in terms of their shooting, they need to be a little bit more selective and a little bit better placement.
Joseph Sessa trying to muscle his way in, threw it well over the top. Backed up by the Bulldogs. Ben Reeves only 1 goal for the 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year. Would love to get him going in this game. Really be the X factor in this second half. Bouncer deflected off Paparo. It falls right back to Yale.
But UMass has elected to take him out of the game. As soon as he dodges, a slide is going right in his face to get the ball out of his stick.
Somehow Ben Reeves ends up with it there. Great pass and the finish. They count it. Tiptoeing around the crease. And guess who? Jackson Morrill again with his 4th goal of the afternoon.
Scrambly play here, all set up by Sessa, tossing the ball wildly. And then from there, Reeves and Morrill just pretty much Johnny on the spot. Easy finish, kind of an unlucky play if you're UMass. Heads up play by Sessa, keeping it alive.
Perfect positioning there for Reeves to get Sessa's pass and then Morrill on the doorstep for the slam dunk finish.
I mean, either an incredibly lucky play or eyes in the back of his head if you're Joey Sessa.
Yale gets the crucial first goal of this second half. No team has led by more than 2 goals today. Very tight contest throughout. So we go back to Connor Mackey and Noah Rack. This time Noah Rack beats Mackey. Only his 3rd face-off win of the day, and it leads to a goal. Buddy Carr, instant offense, and UMass is back within 1.
Not all face-off wins are created equal. This one leads directly to a transition goal. It's all about early offense for UMass. 2 things of note here: the pinch and pop by Rack, and Carr notices Starr holding the pipe and staying big. When he drops his stick and Starr doesn't move, he just whips it low before Starr even reacts.
Second goal today for the senior Buddy Carr. He has had a senior surge in his final year at UMass. More points this season than his first 3 years combined. And Noah Rack again. Very similar to the play. This time he goes left, not ready for it, and a turnover. Chris Connolly just couldn't get his stick to it. Almost a little make it, take it there. Now Jack Starr well out of his cage on the clear. Lucas Kotler gets it into the attack for Yale. Now up for the Bulldogs to respond in what's been a very seesaw game, back and forth in the first round between UMass and Yale. Brian Tevlin, freshman, only 1 goal this season, takes it inside and feeds it off to Ben Reeves. Marked tightly by Billy Philpott, the short stick defensive midfielder. Jason Alessi for Yale, puts UMass through the spin cycle, didn't get the window he wanted to shoot though. Ben Reeves, not a great look there, off his back foot, sent it high.
Yeah, and credit Valenza, staying on his hips, getting his stick underneath, getting a lift there.
Jackson Morrell's got 4 out of Yale's 7 goals, slides to his back there, but gets right back up. Morrell has been the guy, not Ben Reeves today. Only 1 goal for the senior Reeves, 4 for the sophomore Jackson Morrell. The game plan clearly for UMass defensively, let somebody else beat us. Lucas Kotler! What a shot to the top 90 of the cage, and Yale back up by 2 after the sophomore's 2nd of the afternoon.
Beautiful team offense by Yale and a cut by Kotler. This is all set up by the early on-ball action. They spin it around and get UMass rotating and recovering. And Kotler, instead of staying on the perimeter, elects to take matters into his own hands, finds a seam in the defense.
Ivy League school, get your protractor out. That was the perfect angle to put that one home.
Protractor. It's been a while since I've heard of a protractor.
8-6 Yale lead.
What's the one with the pin? You stick that in the middle, and then there's the pencil that goes around that creates a circle. What's that one called?
I think that was gone before my time in elementary school. Connor Mackey, big win for him after Noah Rack got 2 in a row from the face-off X. Yale looking for some make it, take it here.
So you're gonna pull out a protractor, and I can't reference a compass?
Oh, that's what you were trying to talk
Yes.
about? Okay, well, a compass, very different than what you were explaining. I'll tell you, the compass right now has been north to south. Yale has definitely had a lot more possession today. Credit the face-off X. Dominance from Connor Mackey has led to Yale just getting a lot more of the ball. Only a 2-goal lead, make it a 3-goal lead, and it's Jackson Morrill again. Number 5 on the afternoon for the sophomore, having a career day in the first round.
Good schematic response by Yale. Instead of Reeves initiating, let's dodge to him, have his man help, and then we get UMass spinning. So if you're going to slide to Ben Reeves, instead of him being the first dodger, let's make him the second dodger or have the re-dodge, and that is an easy finish right on the doorstep.
Plenty of time left, more than 10 minutes of it left in this third quarter, but it's worth mentioning this is the largest lead of the game for Yale, and on cue, Greg Cannella says, give me a timeout. We'll step aside. Jackson Morrill, the guy for the Bulldogs, trying to avoid another first-round early exit, and he's got Yale up by 3 in the third. Coverage of the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championships continuing later today. Villanova facing off against Duke at 2:15 Eastern on ESPNU tonight. Loyola, Virginia, that's 7:15. A heavyweight matchup and a rematch of a game from this season. Winner of that game gets Yale and UMass. And for all scores, you can go to NCAA.com. Here's the story of the second half. 2 goals from Jackson Morrill. He's tied a career high with 5 on the afternoon.
Yeah, 3 in the first half unassisted, 2 in the second half, both assisted by Reeves, showing his versatility as a playmaker.
Back to the face-off X we go once again. Noah Rack, Connor Mackey. Mackey's won 11 of 14. How about another one? And in transition to Robert Mooney, the feed. What a save off the knee of Sean Scanoni. Yale could be up by way more than 3 if not for the heroics in goal. Still pounding the cage, relentless attack.
Love Reeves sensing the moment there in terms of they got a little mini run going, and UMass is not totally organized defensively. Pick up the ball and go. Scanoni, huge today.
7 saves for the junior goalkeeper. This Yale offense does not stop. They just keep pouring it on. Ben Reeves. That took a major deflection. Regathered by Yale once again, Lucas Kotler, who has 2 goals today.
But again, Yale is putting Reeves in a position where his man has the slide.
Feed inside. What a window, Matt Gaudette. The Canadian hangs out around the crease, a feed inside, and he had a terrific finish to put Yale up 4.
Clear halftime adjustments by Yale for both Gaudette and Reeves. You've seen it, and we've pointed it out with Reeves, and now here's Gaudette. If you're not going to slide for me from the inside, we're going to move you to the perimeter, get you involved in a 2-man game, make your man the hot guy or the first slide, so now we can get you the ball after that initial action. Really smart halftime adjustments by Yale here offensively.
Credit Andy Shea and his staff in year number 15, trying to get to that quarterfinal. Of course, championship weekend, always the goal. Noah Rack, a pick and pop here. Goes to the Buddy Carr where they scored earlier, then crossfield pass over the head of Chris Connolly. That's the last thing you want if you're UMass. The Minutemen have barely had any possession in this third quarter, and they give it away.
And we haven't touched on the weather too much today, Jay, but it did rain most of the morning. This field has been pretty slick, and the sticks can bag out. So when they get wet and a little sloppy, sometimes turnovers then increase. We've seen Yale turn the ball over. Reeves, a couple crossfield passes. Their car subject to the same thing.
Joseph Sessa for Yale finds Jack Ty, who's got a goal to his name today. You mentioned those slippery conditions. Ty falls, gets right back to his feet, fires a shot that was wide. Jackson Morrill there for the backup. Bulldogs stay with it. A 4-goal lead for Yale. Largest lead of the day for either team. You get the feeling they can start to separate themselves in this third quarter. John Dana jealous, passes right back to Ty. They've been going to him a lot on this possession, the junior midfielder. Misplaced pass there, looking for Ben Reeves, and UMass's defense bailed out.
You can see again on that pass, the ball kind of hooks and gets caught a little bit in Ty's stick. As Yale jumps in their 10-man ride, you can hear their bench.
UMass, up until this point, had done a nice job with it. A turnover there comes at a terrible time. Tyler Warner coughed it back up. Bulldogs do have it, though. It was one of your keys. Gotta be controlled in the 10-man ride. That time, not the case, and Yale gets a turnover, goes right back on the offensive. And a goal! Jackson Morrill again! Career high for the sophomore. He's got 6 of Yale's 11.
An absolute backbreaker turnover in the 10-man leads to transition for Yale. Watch number 28. He's going to suck the defense in, and that allows Morrill to pop to the outside. Well choreographed transition offense there by Yale. The second half has been the Morrill from Reeves show. Morrill matches his first half output in the third quarter, and all have been assisted by Reeves. But just when UMass got a stop and was able to answer it, Yale's 10-man ride puts an end to that. That extra possession is just a backbreaker.
Morrill came into the afternoon 30 goals on the season. Certainly a great second option, a weapon, if you will, next to Ben Reeves, but a 6-goal career high in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Not a lot of people saw that coming. It is terrific for a sophomore who has really grown into his own on this front line for Yale. We told you earlier, but comes from that Lacrosse family, 3 generations, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, all 3 of them in the Lacrosse Hall of Fame. And it is in his blood, and he has showed up in a big way for the Bulldogs. Yeah, looking for more. Trying to double up UMass now, 12-6, and really separate themselves in this third quarter. Morrill again, gotta feed the hot hand. Took a late hit. So Yale will get it right back and go on the extra man. Take another look at the hit here.
Left side of your screen. Jay, I just don't see it. I understand the sensitivity to the hits to the head, and I'm certainly not going to push back on that. But for at least the second time today, it looks like the hit has been at the shoulder level or even lower. And I don't know if the referees just have a bad angle, but that was just not a hit to the head.
This third quarter has belonged to the Bulldogs. A 5-1 advantage. Remember, this was only a 1-goal game at halftime. Now Yale leading 11-6. Beautiful passing. Reeves the trigger. Ben Reeves cashes in on the extra man opportunity, and the Bulldogs doubling up the Minutemen, 12-6 here in New Haven.
I don't know what Coach Shea said at halftime, but this team in the third quarter has been absolutely lights out. Ben Reeves sensing the moment. He doesn't want his tournament run to end. 1 goal and 3 assists in the third quarter alone. Beautiful execution there, and the extra man keyed by the skip that Morrill had.
It's now a 6-1 third quarter advantage thanks to Ben Reeves, nearing 300 career points in what has been an outstanding career. A senior who's been a two-time Ivy League Player of the Year, three-time Tewaaraton finalist. That last box to check is getting out of the first round and then getting the championship weekend with his Bulldogs team. Meanwhile, the ride is on.
Yep. Oh boy.
And UMass gives it away. Goalie freshman Jack Starr all the way out of his cage. Dangerous spot, ball is loose. UMass has it, Starr is still out. Finally hustles back. Chris Connolly says, let's slow things down and get a sustained attack.
Yeah, Paparo's lucky he didn't get called for a slash there, but you gotta love the fire out of the kid. Senses this game slipping, trying to take matters in his own hands.
But UMass has to stop the bleeding right now. This was a 6-5 game at halftime. Now it's 12-6 Yale. 5:15 remaining in this third quarter. Connolly swings it over to Devin Spencer. He's got a goal today. Pass out, Buddy Carr. It was high, and UMass has the backup. Ben Spencer goes into attack mode, never had the angle. It'll stay with the Minutemen. Chris Fake once again selling out to try and win possession for Yale.
You gotta love that hustle. Starr did a good job of that last possession, holding pipe. That last shot, rather.
Splitting defenders. Couldn't get it to the back of the net.
Another pipe.
Pipe has been very kind to Jack Starr today, the freshman Yale goalkeeper. He's kept UMass out on 3 different occasions. Did you get the feeling the Minutemen need a goal here? Another one high, they just keep bringing it. Cannot get that finishing touch though.
Short answer, yes.
Lusoskis trying to back down this Yale defense. He lost the ball. Crucial ground ball. Chris Fake is out there for Yale. 3 white jerseys, and it's the freshman rookie of the year for Yale who comes away with the ball and starts this clear.
I mean, look, there's plenty of time left, Jay, but with Yale on this run, you can start to feel the wheels starting to come off.
That was a long attack for UMass, and they come up empty. 3:30 remaining in the third quarter. Yale took a 1-goal halftime lead, and now a 6-goal lead nearing the end of this third quarter. This is a Bulldogs team a lot of people think can get to championship weekend. They were ranked number 1 in the country headed into the Ivy League tournament a week ago, lost to Cornell in the final. But in this third quarter, they have looked like that number 1 team. Joseph Sessa with it. Over to Jack Ty, those 2 midfielders hooking up. And of course, Ben Reeves, who only has 2 out of Yale's 12 goals, but they've been beauties. Nice takeaway there from UMass, much needed for the defense. Jeff Traynor, 2-way midfielder, a sophomore who scored 50 points, gets the turnover but gives it right back. Yale on the run with numbers.
Another save.
Wow, Sean Scanoni. He is keeping UMass in it single-handedly. Great job by the junior goalkeeper to deny that stop in transition. Great save that has led to this clearance attempt.
Yeah, left side of your screen. Scanoni has been absolutely huge all day. Really kept UMass in the game.
Yeah, 9 saves for the junior. Flag on the field, so UMass will get this back if they don't score, but they do. Tiptoeing around the crease. The finish from the freshman, Chris Connolly, to pull one back.
Huge answer by the freshman. This UMass team isn't going anywhere. A lot of fight in this squad. They're able to break the 10-man and quickly key transition. Connolly, the CAA Rookie of the Year, showing off his skill set. What I love about this play, Jay, is he takes that extra step. So often young players try to take that shot early, get around the crease. You're going to pay the price, increase your shooting angle, throw a fake, get the goalie off your line. He does all the right things before burying that.
A Connecticut native, Glastonbury, not too far from New Haven. And he's had a great first year. The Colonial Athletic Association Rookie of the Year. And that stops a 6-1 Yale run where the Bulldogs, they've really looked like the better team in this third quarter, but plenty of time left. And a penalty currently being served as well.
Yeah, that was a huge face-off. Oh, nice check.
UMass is alive. Great job to get the ground ball. Luke Valenza, but a giveaway.
Yeah, just be patient there, run away from pressure.
So now Yale with possession can just run down this man-up opportunity. 30 seconds left on it.
Yeah, that was one of those small little windows of the game. The door had been opened. UMass an opportunity to really kind of jam themselves in there. Now this is where you got to watch yourself. Late in the clock, a double team.
Timeout taken by Yale as the Bulldogs are 8 seconds away from clearing off this extra man opportunity for UMass. They have really built a lead in this third quarter. 46 seconds left and a 12-7 advantage. A 6-2 third quarter, and you said it. What did Andy Shea say at halftime? The Yale head coach, whatever he said, it worked.
Well, what did he say, and what did the seniors say, right? They got 6 of them that have been drafted to Major League Lacrosse and are playing at the next level. Just give that a sense of the overall talent. This team has been so resilient all year. A couple hiccups along the way, the season opener, a midweek game against Bucknell, and the Cornell game last week. That's what kind of most people kind of raised an eyebrow and said, here we go again. Is this a team that Yale stumbling into the tournament? Are they going to have another early exit?
But there was no doubt headed into last weekend in the Ivy League tournament that Ben Reeves and this senior class, they were the best team in the country. Question marks. Saw in New York City a 14-8 loss to Cornell. Andy Shea talked to us about in a plane crash, there's a black box. And this week they were trying to find what went wrong.
Yeah, these are the only things that went right, seemingly, last weekend. Reeves tying and breaking the score record, but Christian Knight played fantastic. And free Jeff Teat. They elected not to shut him off, and they paid the price. And highlighting a little bit of a game to come, will Coach Desko of Syracuse, what will they do strategically? Because they've got a really great cover guy in Mellon that they feel really confident about. Will he go back to the well that was so successful for Princeton and for Brown, or will he just say, hey, let's play him straight up with Mellon?
From talking to you this week, you definitely would shut him off.
There's a formula. There's a template, right? So Princeton used it, then Brown used it. Coach Desko, obviously a ton of success, regular season and postseason. I'd be shaking my head if he didn't.
Yale outscoring UMass 6-2 in this third quarter. To put a cap on that plane crash black box in the Ivy League final, Andy Shea said, we really won't know what happened until the end of the game today. Is this the same team that won 13 of 14 and got to number 1 in the country, or is it the team that lost to Cornell in the Ivy League championship? You could argue in the first half, we didn't really know. Third quarter, they've certainly looked like that #1 team.
Yeah, I think there's different ways of looking at it. Assessa runs away from the double team.
That kills the extra man.
Yeah, the UMass, to your point, the 11-game winning streak, when you have that level of confidence, right, you believe in what you can do. Flip side, if you're Yale, sometimes a loss like that is a good wake-up call. Like, wait a second, we can't just show up and roll over anybody. We've got to bring our A game.
That 11-game winning streak, longest in the country, certainly in jeopardy with 10 seconds left in the third quarter.
Ty's lucky that wasn't a moving pick.
Flag has been thrown off the ball. Reeves, no angle, tried to bounce it. Scanoni got a piece of it. Ball still loose. They're going to blow the whistle with 0.1 second left on the clock to assess this penalty. So Yale will start the fourth quarter up a man. It's against Jackson Subak, the sophomore out of Canada. 1 minute penalty. That is not the way you wanted to start the fourth quarter.
No.
Six goals in the first half for Yale, 6 goals in the third quarter. We head to the final 15 minutes of regulation. The Bulldogs, a 5-goal lead. Andy Shea and Yale trying to get out of that first round. And right now, doing just that, a 5-goal lead headed into the fourth. Game 1 of 8 in a loaded opening round here Saturday and Sunday on ESPNU. We enter the fourth quarter. Yale with a 12-7 lead to kick off the NCAA tournament. And we have had a fun one. Yale really opened the scoring there in the third quarter. Introducing ESPN Plus, your home for more sports, more schools, more conferences, more ESPN. You can stream ESPN Plus exclusively on the ESPN app for just $4.99 a month. Ryan Boyle, Jay Alter with you. Sean Scanoni, UMass goalie, keeping this team in the game. They still are down 5. It's a tall task on the road against the #3 seed in the tournament, but still time. And it would start with shutting down this extra man attack to start the fourth quarter. UMass looking for an answer after Yale scored 6 goals in that third quarter. Ben Reeves sends one wide. 32 seconds remaining on this extra man opportunity for the Bulldogs. Right back to Reeves. He's got 2 goals today. This time a feed inside. Matt Gaudette with the finish. The Canadian buries his second of the afternoon, and Yale cashes in on the extra man.
Gaudette is just so dangerous inside. His hands, Jay, are so quick, and he catches this and gets it out. Unbelievable placement in terms of getting that right over Scanoni's shoulder, and by dropping your stick and then going low to high, changing planes, there's not much Scanoni can do. He drops his stick with Gaudette, and that's all the deception that Gaudette needs in order to beat the keeper.
Nobody saw the ball on the face-off except for Tyler Warner. The senior scoops it up. Another one of those 6 seniors drafted in the MLL, more than any other team in the country. No one can question the talent that is on this Bulldogs roster. They have really showed up in this second half. A 6-goal advantage. It was a 1-goal game at intermission. Hesitation by Jack Ty forces a penalty. Gaudette got a shot, spun around, little shuffle pass, but it stays with Yale. And remember, even if they don't score, they're going to go on the extra man with the flag on the field.
Reeves calling for the ball, the short stick matchup. Patient here. Wants to create separation so he can see the slide.
Right back to Reeves. At what time would you put on the shot? Well, there you go. 30-second timer is on. And it leads to a goal. Jackson Morrill again. 7 goals on the afternoon for the sophomore. What a performance from Jackson Morrill.
Jackson Morrill has done everything today. Finishes this left-handed inside, his seventh of the day.
That ties him for 4th all-time in goals in an opening round men's lacrosse tournament game. So he has etched his name into history. His father won 2 national championships when he played for Johns Hopkins in the 80s. And Jackson Morrill hopes he can lead the Elis to championship weekend himself.
Yeah, to make matters worse, the penalty, you'll see here, the hook around Ty's neck.
Luke Valenza.
Yeah.
So you're already up 7. We're in the 4th quarter. And to make matters worse, as you said, Yale's on the extra man for a minute. UMass does win the faceoff, so they can try and kill this clock down. Probably have to look to score shorthanded here.
Yeah, you're not only fighting the scoreboard, you're fighting the clock at this point.
Where do you think this game got away from UMass? Because they hung tough for more than half of it.
I mean, you just got to look at that run that Yale made in the 3rd quarter. Face-offs, the 10-man ride, they were able to just get possession after possession. And that first half strategy that maybe confused Yale a little bit, they were able to make adjustments. Reeves turned into a distributor. Instead of initiating the action, he got the ball after some action prior.
Back to even strength, which is what UMass needed, but they do have to hurry because the timer can't be too far behind. Plus, they're facing their own timer that there's only 11 minutes and 35 seconds left of this 4th quarter.
Yeah, I'm more concerned with that.
Weaving his way through, Ben Spencer, the junior, making his way through the Yale defense. A ton of white jerseys in the way, did not matter, and the junior has a hat trick.
I mean, there's still plenty of time left, and with Rack's ability to get on a run, don't count out UMass just yet. Spencer continues his hot day, demonstrating his full skill set earlier. He showed you his ability to shoot from the outside, and with that goal, he shows his left-hand dodging prowess. He's got the hat trick, and watch out for UMass and Rack with one last-ditch effort down the stretch here.
Got to play make it, take it now in the 4th quarter, trailing by 6. Rack and Mackey. And Noah Rack's got it. Big-time face-off win from the X for the senior Noah Rack. Minutemen head into attack mode. Great move, bouncer sent wide. Chris Connolly there for the backup. Saved by Jack Starr. Billy Philpott got in and fired a good look. UMass picks up a crucial ground ball.
And if you were thinking about going anywhere today, folks, forget those plans. You've got Villanova, Duke coming up next.
Richmond, Albany after that, and then Virginia Loyola finishes this Saturday slate of day 1, the first round NCAA men's lacrosse tournament. UMass down but not out.
Oh, let it fly.
Why not? Didn't find the back of the net though. This is more the pace that UMass played with in the first half. A confidence about their style of play where they can just shoot and spray it from anywhere on the field. Lasowskis had a step, nearly found it. They just keep piling pressure on Jack Starr and this Yale defense.
It just feels like if they can put one of these on Cage, Jay.
Here's Ben Spencer. He's got 3 goals to his name today. Junior down the right alley, lowers his shoulder, shoots, the rebound is there, and it's a goal for UMass. Buddy Carr in perfect position, and he puts it home. Back-to-back goals for the Minutemen.
Well, I said it felt like if they could just put one of them on Cage. I assumed that it was going to be the initial shot and not the rebound, but credit Buddy Carr, Johnny on the spot. Spencer just had that look in his eye, right? Like,
yep.
As soon as he got that matchup, you knew he was getting the shot off. Starr not able to corral this, and Buddy Carr, the quick hands, he snares it out of the air and buries it before the Yale defense can even blink.
Let's get Barry Melrose to break that down. A little hockey goal, standing in front of the goalie, spills it, and then boom, rebound finish. And UMass don't look now, within 5 goals, 10 minutes to play. You get the feeling it all relies on Noah Rack now. Gotta build this momentum and continue to win faceoffs. Pick and pop right on cue for the senior. Sprints down, feed to the doorstep, and a goal!
Whoa, whoa!
Wave it off. Greg Cannella doesn't know what's happened. UMass thought they had a goal. Yale started running in transition. Minutemen cannot believe it. Greg Cannella is livid, still looking for answers.
So am I. They've got a crease call on the left side of your screen. Let's take another look at this.
They called it on Noah Rack. Doesn't matter, got a goal anyway. Kevin Tobin, the freshman, is fired. UMass back in this game. There's a penalty down on the field as well, so count the goal. That brings the Minutemen back within 4, and there's a flag coming on the other end. Chaos here in New Haven.
You've got to love it. We were highlighting the crease violation, Rack sliding into the crease. Meanwhile, play continues, and with UMass's transition, you cannot stop. You've got to stay involved in the game.
Mike McCloskey, head official, has a lot to sort out here. There were 4 flags down.
Yale is 2 men down, and UMass is going to start with the ball. No face-off.
Talk about a momentum shift in this 4th quarter. 9:32 to go. Minutemen only down 4 with possession and up 2 men.
Let's take another look at this as they sort things out on the field.
Timeout taken. This is the goal from Kevin Tobin, but you see there's flags down. There were 4 flags. We'll step aside. UMass, don't look now. Here come the Minutemen, down but not out, trailing 4 and up a man.
Lacrosse Championships is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Coppertone. Coppertone Sport is proven to protect. And Angry Orchard Hard Cider. Naturally refreshing.
Yale with a 4-goal lead in the 4th quarter. 9:32 to play. Ryan Boyle, Jay Alter with you. Chaos before we stepped aside. A goal scored by UMass. The Minutemen are on a 3-1 run. And the Bulldogs have a 2-minute penalty tacked onto it. Robert Mooney will serve a 2-minute penalty, wave off the face-off. We won't see action from the X. It's UMass ball, trailing by 4, and a 2-minute extra man advantage.
Yeah, my apologies there. I thought they called two different men. It's one man for 2 minutes. Golden opportunity for the Minutemen.
They can afford to be patient. They have 2 minutes to cash in on this extra man opportunity. Buddy Carr has 8 extra man goals this season. Instead, they go out. A flash from Ben Spencer, the junior, who has a hat trick today. Man, he is gripping and ripping from anywhere.
A hat trick and a hand cannon.
Feed to the doorstep. Denied by Jack Starr. The freshman comes up with a big save on the UMass extra man. Jason Alessi on the clear for the Bulldogs. Finds Tyler Warner. A minute and 15 seconds left on this extra man for UMass. Minutemen have to try and find a way to get the ball back after the Starr save.
Yeah, you can see Starr holding pipe there.
No call, a lot of contact. Joseph Sessa finally passes off. Here's Alessi. 50 seconds remaining on the extra man opportunity for UMass. Yale just trying to run out this clock and get it back to even strength. Risky pass pays off Sessa. Double team coming. Sessa using the speed as we tick to 30 seconds left on this man up. All the momentum was with UMass after the goal and the penalty. Yale sucking the wind out of the Minuteman sails.
And I wasn't wild about that shot by Trainer. It was just low angle.
And a flag thrown. UMass has the ball. It's going back to Yale. And with 6 seconds left on UMass's extra man, it'll be Yale now up a man.
Just a huge momentum swing there. You're up a man for 2 minutes. Yale kills it off, and now they're going to go down. Excuse me, go up a man rather. Let's take another look at this. They call a hold. I'm not loving that call. He turns him back. It's a slick ground. It's been raining all day. Morrill kind of slips to the ground a little bit, but I don't think that was a hold.
Shane Rinkus serving that 1 minute, or it's only a 30-second. So now we're back to even strength. 24 seconds now for Yale on the extra man. A 4-goal lead under 7 minutes and 30 seconds to play. Bouncer between the legs. Scanoni couldn't stop it. Jason Alessi has put Yale up by 5, 15-10.
Correction, that's Rooney on the man up.
46, not 45.
No, all good. We haven't seen him all day. The man up specialist, or we have seen him, but just on man up rather. But what a spot to come in. You know, tight game, all the momentum, all the chaos.
Tight window too.
Ton of confidence, rolling off the crease, catching it. No fear. Let it go. Good on you, Brennan Rooney, but man, oh man, a lot of gumption on that kid to take that shot.
Seriously, comes from Saskatoon in Canada. 16th goal of the season. A lot of those, as you mentioned, Ryan, come on the extra man. And a momentum halter for UMass. They were on a 3-1 scoring run. How about pulling one back? Billy Philpott, the short stick. Right off the face-off, instant offense. And UMass just, boom, a response.
Well, when you play this style, you're never out of a game, and UMass is proving as such today. Off the face-off violation, they waste no time going right down the alley, and they're going to challenge Starr in this Yale defense until that clock gets to 0. But with 7 minutes left, there's a ton of time. They have answered the bell, and they have given themselves a shot down the stretch here. It's only 4 goals. and you've got 7 minutes to play.
You could argue UMass is a fourth quarter team. They've outscored their opponents in the final quarter of regulation 48-31 this season. Noah Rack diving for the ball. Yale's got it. That's a crucial face-off win for the Bulldogs. Connor Mackey has it with a head of steam. Settling things down now. 4-goal lead under 7 minutes to play. Yale looking to get out of the first round for the first time with this senior class.
And this is a spot for Yale where you have to keep being aggressive, but you want to be patient. It's a tough balance. You want to work the clock a little bit, milk some time off, but you can't go into the hole playing not to lose.
Shot there by Gaudet. It was blocked. Scramble for the ball. 3 maroon jerseys there.
Watch Paparo.
UMass has got it. They find Paparo. Colonial Athletic Player of the Year cashes in transition. Isaac Paparo, just what the doctor ordered. And it's a 3-goal game. Second of the day for the junior captain.
If you're the first player over the midfield line, you play offense. That's the attitude that they have, and this is a beautiful off-ball read by Paparo. UMass off the ground. Connolly sees it a mile away. What a read by Paparo. He sensed the space in the open part of the field, and he went running. Nobody picks him up, and he aggressively goes to the rack.
And what has really changed in this game is the face-offs. Yale dominated the first half 10-3. Since then, Noah Rack has won 7 of 15, way better percentage from the face-off X. And if this can keep rolling in the final 6 minutes, UMass not out of this game at all.
Well, that and the 16 Yale turnovers, uncharacteristically.
What a battle. Mackey and Tyler Warner digs that ground ball out and wins crucial possession for the Bulldogs. Once again, it's on the shoulders of the UMass defense to try and get another turnover and start this transition game, which has worked so well.
And that last Yale turnover keyed the transition, so you've got to take care of the ball here. You got to love the UMass faithful just screaming for shot clock as soon as Yale gets the ball.
Trying to do their part. The road support has been fantastic. Ground ball picked up by Kotler. He's got 2 goals. 5:20 remaining in this fourth quarter. Yale being patient with a 3-goal lead. After this, we've got Villanova Duke. 2:19 face-off starting on ESPN News. You'll get it on you after the conclusion of this game. Fun one with Justin Gutterding and the Blue Devils coming up. Yale not out of the woods yet. Shot clock is on. 30 seconds for Yale to try and find the back of the net. In the stick of Ben Reeves, 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year. Named it towards on finalist on Thursday night for the 3rd straight year. It was a low pass. Got sent out to Dana Jealous, who fired one over. 9 seconds on the shot clock. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Yale just dumps it to the corner, content to take the turnover there with 4 minutes and 27 seconds and a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, they live to play another day there. They get their defensive personnel on the field.
They can set up the 10-man ride as well, which UMass struggled with in that 3rd quarter.
I think they're going to play a little bit more conservatively here. It appears as such.
Paparo, who scored the last goal, gives it to the goalie, Sean Scanoni. Comfortable clear there, you're right. They kind of called off the Dogs, a 3-goal lead that they are trying to protect here at home. UMass, they trailed as many as 6. They've cut that lead in half to 3. Here's Jeff Traynor. Trying to find a window, passes off. Up to the top of the box with Jake Lisowskis. Lets it fly, saves UMass's way. Villanova and Duke just about to get underway. We'll start on ESPN News, and we'll be right here on ESPNU after this one finishes. A flag flies. UMass went into attack mode, and that goes against the Ivy League Rookie of the Year, the freshman Chris Fake.
At first blush, this looked like a little bit of a bailout call. So
Slash. 1 minute.
1 minute slash.
Trainer goes underneath. What did I miss there?
Fake goes for the head. He got the top of the head of Trainer.
Yep, that angle showed it. Yep.
1 minute extra man opportunity. You get the feeling the Minutemen need to score. Down by 3 and just about 3 minutes remaining. Stays with UMass. 44 seconds left on the extra man. Here's Jeff Trainer, who drew the penalty. Swinging around the perimeter. Buddy Carr, 8 extra man goals this season. Boy, they could use a 9th. It's intercepted. Yale with a massive defensive stop. A penalty called on UMass as the flags fly. Bulldogs still have the ball. They've got numbers too. Decide not to push it. So insult to injury. UMass can't convert on the extra man, and now a penalty coming on the Minutemen.
Yeah, you want to run out this clock. Get back to even strength.
They will milk this clock as much as they can.
Challenge the referees, and then challenge the referees in terms of that shot clock, knowing then we can aggressively go to the cage and then go on man up.
Scoop up the ground ball, and here comes the extra man with 2:03 remaining.
Yeah, you've got to be a little bit more disciplined, Yale there. Make the referees put on the shot clock, then go to the cage, see if you can get something, and then have your man up.
30-second
30-second holding penalty called against Buddy Carr.
Yeah, this is just a desperation play and a frustration play. This is just, Alessi's used to this. This is just a tackle. The other sport he plays, you can do that. This one, not so much.
A great punt returner on a Yale football team that won the Ivy League this past fall. This Bulldogs team, they're trying to get back to championship weekend for the first time since 1990. This senior class has done just about everything. They're the winningest class in program history. 3 Ivy League titles. The one thing they have not done is gotten out of the first round, and they are under 2 minutes away from checking that box.
Yeah, tough thing here for UMass. You're man down, so it's hard to pressure. They're going to try to see if they can cause a turnover. Yale's content to seemingly run the clock out, the penalty clock for that matter. Now you're UMass, you're in desperation mode. You got to double team.
Here's the superstar, Jackson Morrill. 7 goals for Yale today to lead the way for the Bulldogs. Tied for 4th all-time in a first-round game. The shot clock is on, 25 seconds on the timer. 1 minute and 5 seconds left on this regulation clock. Yale once again just content to run out the timer. Just nearly not enough time for UMass right now. Shot clock down to 5. And Alessi puts it in the corner.
Great discipline there by Yale, understanding clock, score, differential. They get their defensive personnel on the field. They get organized.
Capital One player of the game, Jackson Morrill. 7 goals on 9 shots Tied for third all-time in an NCAA first-round game. An incredible performance from the sophomore attackman. UMass not out of this yet. The clock stops with 17.8 seconds left, down by 2 goals. And obviously, you gotta go quick here, but
stranger things have happened, especially with Rack at the face-off X. If he's able to pinch and pop, who knows? But Buddy Carr, he's not going down quietly.
great feed. Jake Lisauskis, the Finnish, the senior, a captain on this team in the midfield. Greg Cannella called him a big game player. He brings UMass within 2 and a timeout taken by Yale's Andy Shea. UMass on a 3-0 run. Could be the classic case of too little, too late. Right now, the story, Jackson Morrill and this Yale third quarter was the difference in what else was a very tight game.
Yeah, Lacrosse is a game of runs. Yale had that huge run in the third quarter. Jackson Morrill has been all over this game, putting his imprint, scoring in a variety of ways. From the crease, on a dodge, off of a feed, from the outside, he has really done it all today. I mean, that's what happens when you have 7 goals on 9 shots. Ultra efficient. And look, he didn't play great in that game against Cornell. Nobody did, but Morrill has really been, you know, the Robin to Reeves' Batman, if you will. So to see him step back up today and have 7 goals, he has fueled Yale offensively.
Well-deserved Capital One player of the game. Yale is just, man, they can taste it. So close after 3 straight years of first-round exits for this senior class. Just 17.8 seconds away from finally getting to the second weekend in the NCAA men's lacrosse tournament.
So I like this timeout by Coach Shea. Hey, let's just make sure we're all on the same page, exactly where we want to line up, exactly what we want to do with our wings, exactly what we want from a Mackey, and then defensively, you know, if there is a pinch and pop, what are we doing?
All the pressure on Noah Rack and Connor Mackey. It's been a battle between 2 seniors from the face-off X all afternoon. Mackey a win away from sealing this one for Yale. A long struggle. UMass needs this ball, and they don't get it.
You saw Alessi there and Mooney both being a defensive position. They were all the way down the wing towards the goal.
And that does it. The 3 seed Yale Bulldogs survive 15-13, and they are marching on to the quarterfinals.
Congratulations to Yale. With today's victory, the Bulldogs
UMass gave them everything they could handle, but this Yale team, they are for real, and the seniors got it done.
The monkey is off their back. They're able to advance. Give a ton of credit to UMass. I mean, what a season they've had. They were 1-4, right? To come back and have the resiliency, you got to give them just a tip of your cap, the coaching staff, the players. And like you said, Jay, they gave Yale everything that they had today. What a way to kick off our tournament.
And it continues. Our final score in New Haven, 15-13. Coming up next, Villanova and Duke. For our entire crew, Ryan Boyle, I am Jay Alter. So long from New Haven. You're going to Mike Corey, Don Zimmer.